partly because of my declining health and the fact that I would like stuff that go on in my mind to be documented, because not only do I think that they can make a difference if put to use somehow or some way, but also I gotta get the stuff out of my head. So the TV may be loud. I can't find my fucking remote. Due in part because of my lack of responsibility in keeping my room maintained and tidy, but also because I haven't looked. But I mean, I've looked slightly. But anyway, so first on the agenda is I've always liked to start my videos with the fact that I think that if humans as a whole got together and worked cohesively in everything, the human race could be it has the potential to be a great power in the universe. I mean, simply, I just watched the news and there was a story saying how there's people spending millions and millions of dollars on research on how to replicate the taste of expensive wine just so they could sell a cheaper version of that same wine, using scientific technology and research and micro analysis. I mean, it's like, okay, why don't we put that use to cancer, or maybe the fact that cancer, that they know, having the inside info that they don't need to, because the research needed to be done for that has already probably been done, and now they're just filtering out the results to the human population through pharmaceutical means, so that somebody can gain another buck in their pocket, which sucks. That's greed. That's the first fatal and immoral mistake that the human race followed on itself was the creation of money. Once they did that and they established that with the possession of this one item, you can then regulate a sense of class, or basically a level. They created a level in a system in which people can be higher or lower than each other, based on status, class, or stuff like that. My thoughts on government. Government, I think, with our population and the way things are, because of the way things are, I think government is absolutely necessary, just to maintain and kind of facilitate things, because shit would just get crazy if there was no government to regulate this stuff. And so I do believe government is necessary, considering how things are. However, I do think that the powers that they have is a little ridiculous. I think that something that could be very useful, or something that is absolutely necessary, is maybe like, and this is just like, there could be a more non-violent way to do this, but the straight up version of in my head of what I think would be needed is in Congress and the judiciary system and in the White House Oval Office itself. I think that there should be, because they don't check themselves like they're supposed to, how they were created. Three entities to keep each other in check and balance each other out, to make sure they don't, one group of people or one branch does not rule or make all the decisions. However, I think there should be a secondary protocol which just requires one person with a little foam covered bat. Originally, I didn't want it to be foam covered, but I think it would be a little bit more accepted if it was a little foam covered bat. Just one person to follow those legislators around, the bureaucrats, the lawmakers, the people who hold the power and can do make decisions and actions that impact millions of people and involve millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money and can down the line have an effect on generations to come. I just think that there should be somebody to follow each of those people around with that foam covered bat, and then when that lawmaker, that legislator, that politician is about to do something that has a negative effect on the American people or on people as a whole, or the planet in which we live in, I think that the person that's following around should immediately start to physically accost, assault, bombard, plummet, and just fucking have at it at that person who is supposed to be in charge of our well-being and who we put in their position, if not money itself put them there, but the American people, the public, put these people into place, most of them anyway, and so I just think that they should be held accountable more, and I think that would be a more direct way of doing that, because if that was the case, some of these people would end up in hospitals the amount of times that we get hit with that foam covered bat. And I think it would actually be proof of how much fucking wrongdoing they do, how much of these guys are ending up with the hospital. Yeah, a politician got beat and put into hospital and is in critical condition due to the severe beating that he received after continuously trying to deceive and rob the American people of their rights. Because a lot of us don't even know our rights are being violated due to the simple fact that the things that these politicians do. They do things that might not have a big impact right now, but a lot down the line or whatnot, somebody they do. Like our president himself, Trump. He's put people in place where they are in charge of vast programs and people and resources that fucking have a great impact on shit. So, like this guy that's in charge of the EPA, he is doing things and making decisions that are gonna affect a lot of shit that Obama has done in kind of reducing the effects of global warming, which anybody who thinks that global warming is a myth or something that is not occurring, then they're a fucking retard.